what your final answer is. You're overthinking. Yes, 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 yes. You're not prancing to the tulip garden. Yes. You're now prancing, Sharon. The probability that the first one's yellow and the probability that the second one is red. So we prance to the tulip garden. What makes me happy over total? How many are yellow? 10 out of 30. We put our yellow tulip away. So when we come back to get the next one, how many are left? 29. This time we want a red one. 12. My answer is going to be the same exact thing. Because we just went from 10 to 12, 12 to 10, 30 to 29, 30 to 29. So it doesn't matter if we're going yellow to red or red to yellow. Multiplication is commutative. It flips back and forth. Okay? All right, last one. What is the probability that one bulb is red and the other is yellow? I want to see your answer. Nope.
No.
Think of all your options. Let's talk through this one because this one's tricky. What's our sample space? What are all the different options for one being red and the other one being yellow? So it could be red and yellow, or it could be yellow and red, right? We just found this in part B, and we found this in part C. So it's going to be part B plus part C. Because you've got to take the red and yellow or the yellow and red. Because you have a 13.8% chance that it's red and yellow, and you have a 13.8% chance that it's yellow and red. So you have a 27.6% chance that you're going to get either one of them. Those weren't that bad.
Can you scroll back up to C?
You can do whatever you want to.
The question.
Oh, yeah.
So just the way it's phrased changes it up that line. Okay.
And the one before it said that the first one's red and the second one's yellow. Yeah. All right. Let me pull that down and let's look at this one. Have we ever heard the terms permutation and combination? love these. Permutations and combinations. The calculator will do it for us, but we need to know the difference between permutations and combinations. On the calculator, permutations are little n, big P, little r, and combinations are little n, big C, little r. So it's little n, big P, little r, or little n, big C, little r. Permutations, combinations. N is your total, and r are the number of times. N is your total, and r are the number of times. N is your total, and r is the number of times. These are fun. So if I'm talking about something that order is important, so if I say I have 20 people in this room, and I'm picking president, vice president, and secretary, or first place, second place, and third place. The order that I pick them is important. You know, the first person I pick is going to be the president. The second person I pick is going to be the vice president. So the order that I pick the people is going to be important. That would be a permutation problem. If I say I have 20 people in this room and I'm going to pick 3 people and they're going to be in a group, it doesn't matter the order that I pick them, they're just going to be in a group. That would be a combination problem. Okay? So, if it's an order problem, permutation. If it's a group problem and order is not important, it's a combination problem. Here are some keywords. If in the problem I say that I'm arranging them, like if I'm putting you in a line to go somewhere, I'm arranging you, I'm scheduling, I'm ordering, that's going to be a permutation. If I say that I'm making a committee or a group or a sample or a selection, that's going to be a combination problem. So if order doesn't matter, if I'm grouping you, so if it doesn't matter if I do Jim, Bob, and Sue, or Sue, Bob, and Jim, they're all going to be on the same group, then that's a combination. But if I'm putting you in a certain order for a certain event, then that's going to be a permutation. So it's critical to know, is it a combination or is it a permutation? Now, here are the steps of how to do an NPR, NCR, and I'm also going to show you factorial at the same time, but just for example, if I gave you a 5 NPR2, I would go to my calculator, and the first thing that you have to do is you have to type in the 5. Then you hit your math button, scroll the probability because we're in the probability section, and then you're either going to choose the NPR or the NCR, and then you type in the 2. Let me show you again. So I type in the first number, which is a 5. I hit the math button, I go over to probability, and then I'm either going to choose the NPR or the NCR according to what problem it is. This problem is an NPR, so I'm going to choose the second one. Or I can just hit the number 2. And then I'm going to put whatever number second. So if I do, let's say, 10 NCR3. For that one, I would type in 10, hit the math button, go over to probability, I would choose number 3, and then I would type in the 3 for NCR3. We good? Now, sometimes we will be doing factorial. For example, if I give you 7 factorial, that is not an excited number. That's a mathematical symbol. So for factorial, you will do 7, then you'll do math over to probability, and you'll go down to number 4. That's your factorial button. And just so that you know, factorial means 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Factorial means that you're going to... Your light bulb is just blaring today.
This would be so much easier if we knew this. If I knew this, like he didn't tell us about this.
No way.
No way.
You start with that number and you multiply by everything until you get down to 1. So 7 times every number below it until you get to 1. So if you're lazy and don't want to go 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, you just hit 7 factorial and your calculator is programmed to multiply 7 by everything until it gets down to 1. That's 7 factorial. We cool? Some people are cooler than others right now. Alright. If repetition is allowed, for example, if we were picking cards and there were 7 cards, and we could do 7 cards times 7 cards times 7 cards times 7 cards times 7 cards, we would do 7 to the 7th. But if we have 7 tulips, then the first person can pick 7 tulips. And then what, or the bachelor, or bachelorette, I heard it on the radio this morning. The first person, there's 7 roses to choose from. But when they take their rose away, how many roses are left? 6. And then how many roses are left when they take? 5. And then we get down to the last person and there's just 1 rose to pick from. So if there's no replacement, there's no repetition, no replacement, then that's when you use the factorial, because every time somebody picks and pounces away from the tulip garden, there's 1 less tulip to pick from. So this is when repetition is allowed, that you can do the same thing over and over and over again. So this one would be like if you have 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 7. So like when we were listening to the music, if the music songs can repeat, this would be this one. If the songs cannot repeat, it would be this one. See the difference? Cool? I love these. Alright, first couple are doing them in your calculator, just making sure that you know how to plug them into your calculator. So, first 2. We're going to do 12 factorial and 4 NPR 0. 12 factorial and 4 NPR 0. So I'm going to do 12, hit the math button, go over to probability, and hit enter. Maybe not. 12, math, over to probability. And then for the second one, I hit the 4 first, then go over to probability, down to number 2, and then I type in my 0. This I'm just making sure you can type into your calculator. This one was 479001600. Alright, for the next one it's 9 NPR4. So I'm going to do 9 NPR4. And then 40 NCR 40. 9 in PR 40, and 40 in CR 40. Any issues? All right, and then there's one more. I'm not gonna do it with my calculator, but there's the answer if you wanna try. I think we're ready for a real problem. Ooh. Ooh. A woman has 5 blouses and 3 skirts. Assuming they all match, how many different outfits can she wear? So we have to ask ourselves, does order matter or not?
No.
No. It doesn't matter if I pick out the blouse and the skirt, or the skirt and the blouse. Doesn't matter the order. So is that an NPR or NCR if order does not matter?
CR.
It's going to be a CR because the order does not matter. Now, my first number is how many things am I picking?
8.
Okay, let's try it. 8. That's my total. And then what am I picking from? Hold on.
4.
We're not even doing this one as a NCR. They just said 5 times 3 on this one. Hold on. Let me come back to that one. They didn't do that one as an NCR. I'll come back to that one. Let me come to, let's look at this one. In how many ways can 15 students be lined up? Order matter or order does not matter? So if I do this and have all 15 of them, how many spots do I have for that one? How many choices? 15?
14.
So what problem is this going to be? Factorial. 15 factorial. Whatever that answer is going to be.
That's a little hard.
It's going to be a high number.
Yeah.
Let's see if I got the answer down there. Oh, they didn't even write it. Now, they called it a, because they're putting them in order in line, the teacher needs to know what they are. They did it a NPR of 15 students, 15 total students, and I'm putting all 15 in line. So 15 total students, and I'm putting all 15 of them in line. I'm not just picking a few, I'm putting all 15 of them in line. Now, y'all, we are halfway through 5.5. So we have 5, 6. Let me see how many pages 5, 6 is. 5, 6 is 3 pages. And then we have 6, 1 and 6, 2, and that's it. So we are finishing Unit 2 next week. Next week. If you haven't taken your test, it needs to be taken today. Today, before they close. And you must show up an hour, you must show up before 7:30. Not at 7:31 or 7:32, they won't let you take it. 7:30 or above, before. Homework's already done, so you need to start working on that Chapter 5 homework, y'all, or you're going to be screwed. Index card, start taking it over there. I will send you the email about, getting tutoring. If you wanna go over to Max or Julie or Joey, I'll send you that email. Also start using them. Just get those homeworks dropped, get those grades pulled up. I'll see y'all on Monday.
Wait, if we go to a tutor,
Parents tutoring out,
Hmm.
two time investment, I had to add, better safe than